Hello G-Acconners and Happy New Year! It is Sonia back with another video. I am so excited to show you guys our brand new QBO workflow and automation tool. So we're starting off 2024 strong. As you can see, I've got a couple of reports already pulled up. I've got my budget versus actual report in this first tab here, and then my balance sheet report in the second tab here. And we would like to automate these reports so that they are being updated on a consistent basis. The first step, we're going to go to G-Accon for QuickBooks and then Automation and select Create Workflow. So basically the same functionality that we had before. It's going to look a little different though. As you can see here, we have an improved UI for you guys. I'm going to call this Demo 2024. So we're going to give our workflow a name and description. And I always like to make sure this operations log is check marked. I never like to deselect it. What that's going to do is generate automatically when the workflow runs a tab at the very end of your sheet, and it is going to give you the date and timestamp of when your workflow begins to run, which specific reports were updated, and when that workflow ended successfully. So it serves as an audit of sorts. If you're ever unsure, you can always go check that tab, and it's going to tell you exactly what operations went on while you may have been away from your Google Sheets. Moving on to scheduling, you can schedule your reports to update from every 3 hours all the way to a monthly basis. Really dependent on what you're using these reports for, who you might be distributing them to, and who you might be working on them with. I am going to go ahead and set ours here to 6 a.m. on a daily basis. So tomorrow at 6 a.m. and every day after that, these two reports of mine are going to update for me. Going to step number 2. Here's where we select our templates. Now, I just have 2 reports in here because that's what I'm using for the demo. However, if you had a plethora of other reports, you could absolutely select all of them by hitting the button up here, or select the few that you would like updated and automated, and you can either drag and drop or just hit the box and hit this little arrow, and there you go. Now that they're on the right side of our little window here, they are included in our workflow. And when including templates and reports in our workflow, I always like to tell people to hit that little settings icon and select send email notification in case of error and stop on failed. This is really more of a safeguard than anything. It should never actually happen. However, if for whatever reason it does, you definitely want to be let know of it, and you definitely want to stop pulling dirty data into your sheets and messing up the data that you may have already in there. So, like I said, a safeguard of sorts, but I always like to point it out. Going on next, emails. So in this emails section, whoever I specify in this to box up here, they will receive an email every time my workflow has successfully run and come to an end. So you could put your own email in here. You could put internal colleagues' emails in here if maybe you're all working on reports together, or if you're preparing reports for an external client or somebody external to your organization, you could absolutely put their email in here as well. Giving it the subject and message of your liking, you're able to share updated data with whoever you'd like as the workflow runs. So just to put it into context here, I put our schedule on a daily basis at 6 a.m. So once that runs every day at 6 a.m., whoever I specify in this to section will be receiving an email with the subject line and message of my choosing. Maybe it's something like, hey, data's updated, go take a look, for example's sake. The other handy feature that we have here is the attach as option. So maybe you're working with people that don't use Google Sheets as much as you do, or you just simply don't want to give them a spreadsheet link and have them dive into all of your data like that. You can absolutely share the updated report in the form of an Excel file, CSV file, or 2 different formats of PDF. Moving on forwards, we have got alerts. Now, alerts are a little bit more conditional. So let's, for example, go to total cost of goods sold for June of 2023. Let's say, for whatever reason, me and my colleagues would like to keep an eye on that number as these reports update. And if it changes, we'd like to be let know of it. So that's where you might want to create an alert rule. So I've selected the cell or range of cells. In this case, I'm just using one cell. Going over here and selecting this icon, it's going to recognize that I would like to be paying attention to B19 of this budget versus actual report. Hitting next, I'm going to specify that this is a number data type, and now I'm going to give it a rule. It looks like we're at about 154,000. So let's say anytime this dips below 154,000 for whatever reason, as the reports update, if that actual for June 2023 goes under 154,000, I'd like to be let know of it. Awesome. And by default, your email is going to be in here already. You can absolutely delete it if you don't want to be alerted, but you can also add anybody else's email that you'd like, similar to the initial email structure that we were going through just a bit earlier. So in this case, I would say the alert message is something along the lines of June 2023 actual total cost of goods sold is under. Go look. Creating that alert rule. Awesome. As my reports update, if that number ever dips, then I will be alerted of it via email with my little message that I just set up there. Now you can set up to 20 max alerts per workflow. So pretty comprehensive. If you have a bunch of different reports, you can absolutely monitor the specific data that you'd like to within them. I am going to skip past webhooks for the time being. We do have a video coming out soon diving into those, so stay tuned for that. And last but not least, we are at backups. So backups is basically going to, once you turn this little check mark on, going to generate a completely separate copy of your entire workbook with the reports within it every time the data refreshes. So essentially, it collects a historical look at all of your data as it's been throughout time and through all the different updates your workflow is going to go through over time. So this is pretty nice because we do know in QuickBooks Online the reports do back up, but they self-delete after a given amount of time. Our backups don't do that. These are stored in your Google Drive. So you really do have a comprehensive historical look at your data. And then you can obviously go ahead, play around with the spreadsheet prefix. You don't have to stick to G-Accon by any means. Put your own organization's name in there or whatever you'd like to call it. And then same thing with the timestamp. Once good there, we're going to hit create. Awesome. And just like that, our workflow is ready, set, go. It is running as of 6 a.m. tomorrow and every day after that. Both of these reports of mine are going to update and I will be getting an alert if this one number dips below. And if I'd like to go ahead and add anybody to that email chain getting those updates, you absolutely can. I'll show you real quick. If you've already set up a workflow and you want to go tweak it for whatever reason, you can absolutely do that. Nothing is set in stone here. So I'm just going to hit edit/delete workflows. Our little side window is going to pop up here. As you can see, my demo 2024 workflow is here. And if I would like to manually have this workflow execute, I could always hit this little play button right here. Now this is manually pushing my workflow, so it's manually executing that update of my two different reports. As you can see, my automatic operations events log is at work, and it is beginning to record exactly what actions are going on. We see started to pull, we see success. That's exactly what we want to be seeing. And again, for budget versus actual report, we've got our creating the Google spreadsheet copy. That's my backup there. And then it went through my alerts because I set that up as well. So everything you want to see, and this gives you an idea of what that automatic operations events log looks like. As you guys just saw, it just automatically pops up as the last tab in your workbook. Now, let's say I'd like to edit this workflow. Hitting this little pencil icon, we're going to be brought back to the exact same window that we were in before. And here I can really just about tweak anything. So if I wanted to change the schedule around, I could absolutely do that. If I wanted to add different templates or remove templates, you could do that as well. Emails, I can go ahead and put myself in here and anybody else I'd like. And then you could test the execution, or you could just go ahead and hit update, which is what I'm going to do in this case after putting in a subject and message. Update. Amazing. And just like that, easy peasy, you've got all your reports automated and being updated on a consistent basis. Stay tuned for more. We have plenty more to roll out for 2024. Please let us know your thoughts down below. Give this video a like if you could. We appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.